We are live now, sir.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Namaste to all. Prostrating at the lotus feet of Brahmanishta Sadguru, Swami Virajeshwara Saraswati, and the entire Guru Parampara on behalf of all of us. Today's discourse on Viveka Chudamani will continue after a gap of 2 weeks. And before the Mangalacharana Shloka, I would like to say one or two small things for our remembrance. The interesting point is, today is the 50th discourse on Viveka Chudamani of Shankara Bhagavad Pada taking place. It is almost 1 year over. If I remember correctly, last year in 2020, on September 6th, the first discourse started off by the personal involved efforts of Sri Prabhakar Shanai and Sri Kailas Simha of New Jersey. It started off on September 6th, 2020 by the grace of the Sadguru, and is continued all because of the blessings of the Sadguru himself all these days. Except for the last 2 weeks, there was some, because of my relocation from one area in Bangalore, that is Basveshwar, where we were put up in the last 30-40 years, shifted to Rajarajeshwari Nagar, the other what we call southwest corner of the Bangalore, away from Bangalore. It is on the Mysore Road, off the Mysore Road, almost 3-4 kilometers deep inside, surrounded by totally greenery, lush greenery, and total silence. So the award called Sri Guru Krupa, this Viveka Chudamani discourse, 50th lecture is being given. Again, I bow down my head with all humility and devotion at the lotus feet of the Sadguru. Hari Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Sri Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krudau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Om Namo Bhagavate Virajeshwaraya. Hari Om. 2 weeks before, we had stopped at the verse number 272, shloka number 272. Now, in these shlokas, Acharya is referring to the Vasana Kshaya Prakaran. How to, what are the Vasanas as they are called? The Samskaras. How from thousands of previous births, these Vasanas are deeply embedded in our psyche, deeply embedded in our chitta, and they are controlling all the activities from birth to the death in this life. So he continues with the same point about the vasanas. Now, last time he gave the example of a small tree type, a shrub called agaru, which is called agalokam in English. Now he takes the famous example of the sandalwood. Now, in the next shloka, he takes the example of the sandalwood. Sandalwood is of course, is a rare commodity. It's known for its fragrance. It is known for, rubbing the sandalwood on the stone and getting the sandal paste, most auspicious sandal paste used in worshipping, during the worship of the idols, worship of the images of the god, pasting the sandalwood on the god forehead and other places. So it's a very, very, very significant tree. Now Acharya takes up that example. Antashchitananta duranta vasana dhuli vilipta paramatma vasana prajnati sangarshanato vishuddha pratiyate chandana gandavat sputham. Antashchitananta duranta vasana dhuli vilipta paramatma vasana prajnati sangarshanato vishuddha pratiyate chandana gandavat sputham. Pratiyate chandana gandavat sputham. Key word, key phrase in this shloka, the last chapter. ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧದ ಕೊರಡು, ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧದ ಮರ, ಅದನ್ನು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯಾಗಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು, ಈ ಗಂಧದ ಕೊರಡು ಮನೇಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಷ್ಟು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಧೂಳು ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ ವರ್ಷಾನುಗಟ್ಲೆ. ಆ ಧೂಳಿನಿಂದ ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದರ ಸುವಾಸನೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ತೆಯ್ಯೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ, ನೀರಿನ ಹನಿಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿ ಗಂಧದ ಕಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ತೆಯ್ಯೋದ್ರಿಂದ ತೈತಾ ತೈತಾ ಹೊರಗಿನ ಆ ದುರ್ವಾಸನೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅದರ ನಿಜವಾದ ಪರಿಮಳ ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ನಮಗೆ ತೋರಲ್ಪಡುತ್ತದೆ, ಅನುಭವಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ವಾಸನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಜ್ಞೆಯಿಂದ ತೊಳಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ರಜ್ಞೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದೇಹ ಆತ್ಮ ಐಕ್ಯತ್ವ ಭಾವವನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ತತ್ವಮಸಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಧಾರಣ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಅದು ಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ವಾಟ್ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಸೇಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಅಂತಶ್ಚಿತಾನಂತ ದುರಂತ ವಾಸನ ಧೂಲಿ ವಿಲಪ್ತ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ವಾಸನ. ಸೊ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು innumerable births, all the samskaras are carried, impressions are carried into this birth. Everything is there in our chitta, concentrated. And these vasanas, ಅಂತಶ್ಚಿತಾನಂತ ದುರಂತ ವಾಸನ ಧೂಲಿ ವಿಲಪ್ತ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ವಾಸನ ಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾತಿ ಸಂಘರ್ಷಣತೋ ವಿಶುದ್ಧ ಪ್ರತೀಯತೆ ಚಂದನ ಗಂಧವತ್ ಸ್ಫುಟಂ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ವುಡ್, ದ ಡ್ರೈ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ವುಡ್ covered by all the outer impurities, and it won't give you any smell at all. By constantly rubbing it on the stone with the help of water added, all the impurities will wash away, and the real odor, smell of the sandalwood paste, you can smell it. Like that, the vasanas should be actually, you should grind them by effort, forcibly, with the help of the prajna. Prajnati sangarshanato vishuddha pratiyate chandana gandhavat sputam. So, when with the help of the prajna, that is the pure consciousness, the pure wisdom, understanding the reality. I am that only. Understanding the purport of the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. You are that only. Yes, I am that only. So by following that, understanding that pure consciousness, awareness is called prajna. So by constantly with reflection, manana and nididhyasana, this vasanas of the previous birth will slowly vanish and the original Paramatma vasana will set in. That is what he says. Anatma vasana jalai stiro bhutatma vasana nityatma nishtaya tesham nashe bhati swayam sputam. Anatma vasana jalai stiro bhutatma vasana nityatma nishtaya tesham nashe bhati swayam sputam. ಅನಾತ್ಮ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯಿಂದ ಮರೆಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಈ ಆತ್ಮವಾಸನೆಯು ನಿತ್ಯವೂ ಆತ್ಮ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯನ್ನೇ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆತ್ಮನಲ್ಲೇ ನಿಷ್ಠನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದರೆ, ಆತ್ಮಭಾವದಲ್ಲೇ ಅದನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಎಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಈ ಅನಾತ್ಮ ವಾಸನೆಗಳು ನಾಶವಾಗಿ ನಿಜವಾದ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಹಿ ಸೇಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನಾತ್ಮ ವಾಸನ ಜಾಲೆ ತಿರೋಭೂತ ಆತ್ಮವಾಸನ. So because of the influence of the vasanas or samskaras or vasanas will make you to think that I am the body. You are the body, you are the mind, you are the buddhi, you are so and so. You have an individual complex status. So that individuality which is there in every human being is due to the vasanas. How many times Acharya Bhagavad Pada has mentioned these points? Only he knows. Individual status, individuality as we call. Swabhimana as it is called. That is, I am this person. I have a status. All these things are due to vasanas only. Nothing else. Vasanas only. So, anatma disconnected from the real source. I am that Atma Swarupa. I am that Nitya Buddha Shuddha Pratyagatma Swarupa. I am that Parabrahma Swarupa. I am neither this body nor the status, nothing of this sort. All these things appear in the waking state only. Individuality, aham, ahankara, manas, chitta, buddhi, they become active only in the waking state. Not in the deep sleep, not in the sushupti. So from this is called anatmavas, identifying myself as the body, identifying myself as my mind, identifying myself as my ego, ahankara. In reality, ego has no status. It has no relative status. It is totally a biggest illusion due to Maya. The ego cannot sustain without the presence of the body, physical body. Mind itself is a part of the ego. Ego itself is a part of the mind. Accordingly, the words are used. All come under one word, antakarana. What is antakarana? Inside me, inside you, there is antakarana. That is in Vedanta. called as Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. 4 words are used. All the 4 words basically mean mind complex, most powerful, 6th, subtlest, you can call it as Indriya. It completely controls mind, Antakarana. So Antakarana basically means mind. The mind also means ego, Ahankara. I am. It also means buddhi. Buddhi, to do this or to do that. The buddhi will decide like that. So all these things are controlled, influenced by vasanas. Vasanas are anatma, mithya. So anatma vasana jalaihi tirobhutatma vasana. So the real atma vasana Acharya says is completely masked or covered or suppressed by these vasanas, anatma vasanas. Impressions we have carried from the n number of previous generations. So, nityatmanishtaya tesham nashe sati. Understood? Nityatmanishtaya tesham nashe. Only by, with effort, with determination, with the belief that I am not these things, I should concentrate, reflect, and do nididhyasana. All the time, I should abide by in Atma itself. That is the reality where I should abide by. So that is called Atmanishtatva. So I should always become Atmanishtha. Sadguru always tells his disciple, Brahmanishto bhava or Atmanishto bhava. So abide in the reality, Sadguru says. Abide in your own Pratyagatma. Abide in that. Always be aware that you are that only. So that awareness is called Atmanishtha. So by that awareness, Anatma Vasana, the web of Anatma Vasana will be cut. Nityatma Nishtaya Tesham Nashe Sati Swayam Sputam Bhati. So ultimately, when the Vasanas completely go away, the reality will shine. Vasanakshaya Sampurnavadaga ತನ್ನ ನಿಜ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳಗುತ್ತದೆ, ಸ್ವಸ್ವರೂಪ ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳಗುತ್ತದೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅನಾತ್ಮ ವಾಸನೆಗಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಬಂತು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ. ದಂಭ, ದರ್ಪ, ಅಹಂಕಾರ, ಕ್ರೋಧ, ಸಿಟ್ಟು, ಕಠಿಣವಾದ ಮಾತು, ಅಜ್ಞಾನ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಸೇರಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ ಅನಾತ್ಮ ವಾಸನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಆಟ ಆಡಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 16ನೇ ಅಧ್ಯಾಯದಲ್ಲೇ ಭಗವಂತ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ? ದಂಭೋ ದರ್ಪೋತಿ ಮಾನಶ್ಚ ಕ್ರೋಧ ಪಾರುಷ್ಯಮೇವ ಚ. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord tells in the 16th chapter, the 4th shloka as it is. Mahaswami, Chandrasekhar Bharati Mahaswamigal gives a commentary here to the shloka. Even Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, in the 16th chapter, Dambho darpoti manascha krodha parushyameva. See, these things, the anger, the harshness, the pride, ego, hatredness, all these things are the anatma vasanas. So, they are the ones he calls, the Lord in Bhagavad Gita calls them as Asuri Sampat. They are the demonic qualities. Our Gurudev writes in his Science of Bhagavad Gita, the Vyakhana on this particular shloka. These vasanas are demonic qualities. Asuri Sampat, not sattvic qualities, not the divine qualities. So the demonic qualities will control you so that they will take you away from Atmavasana. They take you away from realization. They take you away from the spiritual path. These are the points to remember here. Next, he says, Yatha yatha pratyagavasthitam manah तथा तथा मुञ्चति बाह्यवासनाः निःशेषमोक्षे सति वासनाना आत्मानुभूतिः प्रतिबन्धशून्या यथा यथा प्रत्यगवस्थितं मनः तथा तथा मुञ्चति बाह्यवासना निःशेषमोक्षे सति वासनाना आत्मानुभूतिः प्रतिबन्धशून्या. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು. ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಒಂದೇ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮನಸ್ಸು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಲೆಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆಯೋ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಾಧನೆ ಬಲವಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತದೆಯೋ, ಅಷ್ಟು 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 ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗಿನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವಾಸನೆಗಳು ತಾವಾಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗುತ್ತವೆ. ಒಂದೇ ದಿವಸಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮನಸ್ಸು ಅಂತರ್ಮುಖ ಆಗ್ತಾ 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 ವಾಸನೆಗಳು ತಾವಾಗಿ ಕಳಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಅರ್ಥ, ಒಳ ಮರ್ಮ. So Acharya is very clear. He says, and he is giving assurance so that sadhakas, people like us, ajnanis, should not be disappointed. Acharya says here, yatha yatha pratyag avasthitam manah tata tata munchati bahyavasanaah. Very clear. So what he means here, as and when slowly your mind during meditation, during nididhyasana, during the spiritual sadhana sets in, concentrates itself in the goal, as and when the sadhana continues with all the personal efforts, so much so your vasanas will automatically vanish away. You will be getting rid of the vasanas without your knowledge, slowly and slowly and slowly. It cannot happen in one day. Today you are sitting, after 1 month, after 6 months, after 1 year, I have seen people, sadhakas, always complaining, always staying, disappointed. That, see, we are doing the sadhana, spiritual sadhana, as per the Guru's advice, for the last 1 year, for the last 2 years, 3 years. Japa, we are doing, dhyana, we are doing. Nothing has happened. I am as it is. No change in me. I have not changed. I don't see any changes in me at all. I am the same old person, same old ego, same old jealousy, same old envy, same old anger, same old hatred. It is there in me. Not even half an inch I have climbed up in the ladder of spiritual sadhana. These are the words of most of the sadhakas nowadays. What answer can be given to that? The answer is here in Viveka Chudamani. 1200 years before Acharya Shankara Bhagavad Pada kindly has given us. Same thing is there in Bhagavad Gita. Lord says, 5,000 years back, people, we don't know Bhagavad Gita. So now Acharya, with compassion, he is telling the same thing what already Lord said in Bhagavad Gita. Yatha yatha pratyagavasthitam manah yatha yatha तथा तथा मुञ्चति बाह्यवासनाः. As and when the mind gets settled down, slowly, steadily. So look, my dear disciple, your vasanas will gradually vanish in the same percentage. The more you start with earnestness the sadhana, by the grace of the Sadguru, the vasanas will, you will be rid of the vasanas without your knowledge. This is the experience of all the higher level sadhakas. Higher level mumukshus, they watch for that. They know it by their experience. Uttama adhikaris know that by their experience. The middle level sadhakas always have a point. They want everything fast. I have started my sadhana today. By tomorrow, Brahmajnana should come to me. How is it possible? How is it possible? So then Vacharya says here, next two charana, Nishesha mokshe sati vasananam. Nishesha mokshe sati vasananam. Vasananam nisheshe moksha sati. Only when the vasanas completely get eroded, vasanakshaya happens. When the desires, in other words, go totally vanish. In other words, when the manonasha occurs. Manonasha means death of the mind, means don't take it a literal sense. Manonasha means total death of the desires, wants. You become wantless person. You become desireless person. That is really manonasha. Nothing is there. You want nothing at all. Absolutely nothing at all. You have reached a stage where you have become that only. Or you are at the verge of becoming that only. How to put up these things, I don't know. My words will fail here. Vocabulary will fail here to express how exactly we should convey this. What Acharya, Sakshat, Parabrahma Shiva Swarupa Acharya says here, how an ajnani like me can go on explaining. Only Sadguru knows the difficulty here. Nishesha mokshe sati vasananam atmanabhuti pratibandha shunya. So atmanabhuti occurs. The reality dawns. The awareness sets in. You will experience by first hand. Aparokshanabhuti occurs when nishesha mokshe sati vasananam. When vasanas, desires will go away completely. No more desires, no more ego, no more any of these things. Internally, mind is fully stabilized, abides in that locus of pratyagatma. That is what Acharya means here. And for this purpose, I remember here one small point. Even during our daily ritualistic puja, you remember? Daily puja. Our Rishi Munis have understood the difficulty of how vasanas control us, our behavior, how the mind is influenced by these vasanas. So they have introduced a beautiful mantra at the end of the daily routine puja, ritualistic puja. A routine after your daily puja, in the end, there is a beautiful mantra. Some people know it, they recite it without knowing much deeper into that. That the last mantra, final mantra after the daily puja, most of us we know, some of us we don't know. So for the benefit of some of us who don't know, I'll repeat that. Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakrute swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayana yeti samarpayami iti sarva karma phala samarpanam karishye. Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakrute swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayana samarpayami. The meaning of that is, look, Lord, whatever I perform, the actions, karma, by my physical body, by communication, by talks, kaya, vacha, manasa, or thinking in the mind, all these constitute karmas or actions. Whatever I perform karma, through the mind, through the talk, through my body actions, I don't know whether they are good or bad. So I offer all these karmas at your lotus feet. Deliver me from the effect of these karmas. Deliver me from these karma bandhanas, because I am offering all the karmas at your own feet. Neither I want papa nor punya of the karmas I perform today. So every day, this mantra is chanted by the devout Hindus at the end of their daily ritualistic puja. Most of them do it. Some will not do it. Not that they don't know it. Nobody is there to tell them. It is not their fault. So the meaning of this is same thing. It is not so easy to get away from the vasanas. Vasanas will control our karmas. Because of vasanas, our karmas are generated all the time. Most of the rajasic and tamasic karmas we perform are the reasons for our downfall spiritually. Only sattvic karmas will uplift us towards spirituality, towards sadhana, towards God. So these are the points to remember. After that, now Acharya speaks about a few shlokas on, he hammers now the point in the Vedanta called Adhyasa. Now the next set of shlokas come under the subheading called Adhyasa Nirasa. What is this Adhyasa? Adhyasa andre ಏನು? ಮುಂದಿನ ಕೆಲವು ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಧ್ಯಾಸದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನು ಅಧ್ಯಾಸ? ಅಧ್ಯಾಸ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಬಹಳ ಸರಳವಾಗಿ ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ. ಏನು ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ? ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇಹ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಥವನು, ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಥವಳು, ನಾನು ಶ್ರೀಮಂತ, ನಾನು ಬಡವ, ನಾನು ರೋಗಿ, ನಾನು ವೃದ್ಧ, ನಾನು ಯೌವನ, ತುಂಬಿದ ಮಧ್ಯಮ ವಯಸ್ಕ, ನಾನು ತುಂಬ ಓದಿದವನು, ನಾನು ತುಂಬ ತಿಳಿದವನು, ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಿರುವ ದಡ್ಡ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಧ್ಯಾಸ ಅಂತ. ನಿಜವಾದ ನಾನು ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಏನು ಸಂಬಂಧ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಪ್ರಭೆ, ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಸ್ವರೂಪನಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾನಲ್ಲ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ, ಆ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಅರಿವು ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಅರಿವಿನ ಚೈತನ್ಯ, ಅದು ನಿಜವಾದ ನಾನು. ಇದು ಮೇಲ್ನೋಟದ್ದು. ಈ ಬಟ್ಟೆ, ಈ ದೇಹ, ಈ ಆಕಾರ, ಈ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವ, ಈ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯದ ಮದ, ಇದು ಯಾವುದು ನಾನು? ಸೊ ಅಧ್ಯಾಸ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ. ಇಷ್ಟು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ಮುಂದಿನ ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳು ಅಧ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನ ನೀನು ಹೋಗಲಾಡಿಸು ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಶಿಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ. ನೀನು ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಥವನು ಅಂತ ತೆಗೆದುಹಾಕ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಿಂದ. ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನೀನು ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇದೆಯೋ ನೀನು ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ನೀನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶುದ್ಧ ಬುದ್ಧ ನಿತ್ಯ ಮುಕ್ತ ಪರಮ ಚೈತನ್ಯಯುಕ್ತ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪ, ಸರ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಅಜ ಅಮರ ಅವ್ಯಯ ನಿರಂಜನ ನಿಷ್ಕಲ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪನೇ ನೀನು. ಇದನ್ನ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋ. ಅಧ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನ ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಶ್ಲೋಕ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳು. So what is this adhyasa? This adhyasa is the Vedantic term. It simply means false identification or superimposition. You impose something false on the reality. What is the reality? You are that supreme consciousness, abstract, unimaginable, unexplainable, without birth, without death, all the time. It is all the time one only. It is one only eternally present, beyond your contemplation, beyond the buddhi, beyond the mind. You have to transcend your mind and buddhi, because buddhi cannot reach, mind cannot reach, words cannot reach. So you are that supreme reality. You are that absolute Brahma Tattva. You are that absolute Parabrahma Tattva. But by mistake, you think you are the body. So that mistaken identity or the superimposition, the body on the Atma, your mind on the Atma, you think you are the mind. You are imposing mind on your own. So that superimposition is called adhyasa. False identification, identifying your body as Atma is called adhyasa. So next set of shlokas, Acharya speaks about that to the disciple, and he says, by effort, you have to give up this false identification. You have to give up this false identification. That is what he says. Swatmanyeva sada astitva mano nashyati yoginah vasananam khayaschatah swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Against Swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Swadhyasa apanayam kuru means get rid of this false notion that you are the body. Swatmanyeva sada stitva mano nashyati yogina. ಯೋಗಿಯ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಚಿಂತನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ತಾನಾಗಿಯೇ ನಾಶವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಅನಂತರ ವಾಸನೆಗಳ ಕ್ಷಯವೂ ಉಂಟಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ವಾಸನಾನ ಕ್ಷಯಶ್ಚಾತ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಸ್ವ ಅಧ್ಯಾಸ ಅಪನಯಂ ಕೊಡು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಿನ್ನ ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಬಿಡು. ಸೊ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ says here, only by constant effort, by constant sadhana, by establishing in Atman all the time, by japa, tapa, meditation or nididhyasana, the manonasha will occur by Sadguru's for the yogi. And only at that time the declining of the vasanas, vasanakshaya will start. Hence, by constant effort, remove the false identification that you are the body and the mind and the organs. So negate entirely the superimposition. That's what he says. Tamodvabhyam rajasatvat satvam shuddhena nashyati tasmat satvam avashtabhya swadhyasapanayam kuru. Tasmat satvam avashtabhya swadhyasa apanayam kuru. ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾದ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ತ್ರಿಗುಣಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮಾಯೆಯ ಸ್ವಭಾವ 3 ಗುಣಗಳಿಂದ ಕೂಡಿರೋದೇ ಮಾಯೆ. ಸತ್ವ, ರಜ, ತಮ. ಈ 3 ಗುಣಗಳು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಯೆ. ಮಾಯೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ 3 ಗುಣಗಳ ಸಮ್ಮಿಶ್ರಣ. ತ್ರಿಗುಣಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಮಾಯಾ ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಸತ್ವ, ತಮ, ರಜ ಈ ಗುಣಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ತಮೋದ್ಭಾವ್ಯ ರಜಃ ಸತ್ವ ಸತ್ವಂ ಶುದ್ಧೇನ ನಶ್ಯತಿ. ತಮಃ ದ್ವಾಭ್ಯಾಂ ನಶ್ಯತಿ. ರಜಃ ಸತ್ವಾತ್ ನಶ್ಯತಿ. ಸತ್ವಂ ಶುದ್ಧೇನ ನಶ್ಯತಿ ಅಂತ ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಮೋಗುಣದ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ರಜೋಗುಣ ಸತ್ವಗುಣ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ರಜೋಗುಣದ ಪ್ರಭಾವ ಸತ್ವಗುಣವನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, ದೈವಿ ಗುಣವನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಸತ್ವ ರಜೋಗುಣದ ಪ್ರಭಾವ. ಈ ಸತ್ವಗುಣದ ಪ್ರಭಾವವೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಶುದ್ಧ ಸತ್ವಗುಣವನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಬೇಕು. ಸತ್ವಂ ಶುದ್ಧೇನ ನಶ್ಯತಿ. ಈ ಸತ್ವಗುಣ ವಿಶುದ್ಧ ಸತ್ವವಾದಾಗ ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಆತ್ಮಾನುಭೂತಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲಕರವಾದ ವಾತಾವರಣ, ಆತ್ಮದರ್ಶನಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಸಿದ್ಧವಾಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ತಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಸತ್ವಂ ಅವಷ್ಟಭ್ಯ ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಸ ಅಪನಯಂ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಸತ್ವಗುಣವನ್ನೇ ಅವಲಂಬಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು, ದೈವೀ ಸಂಪತ್ತನ್ನು ಅವಲಂಬಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಆಸುರಿ ಸಂಪತ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಉತ್ತಮ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿ. So what he says here, tamas, tamoguna, the qualities of tamas is destroyed by rajas and sattva. The qualities of rajas is destroyed by the development of sattva. And the qualities of sattva is also further annihilated by, further purified. Annihilated means further purified by Vishuddha Sattva. So that means, what is Vishuddha Sattva? Sattva Guna totally purified. Sattva Guna devoid of even minute percentage of Rajas and Tamas. So Sattva Guna minus Tamas and Rajas completely. That is called Vishuddha Sattva. So Acharya says, Tasmat Sattvam Avashtabhya Swadhyasa Apanayam Kuru. So solely depending on Sattva, so develop Sattva Guna and then get rid of your superimposition or false identification. That's what Acharya says. Now, next shloka is a landmark shloka, as it is called. One of the important, some of the phrases, charanas are landmark. Gurudev used to say here also. Next one, Prarabdham pushyati vapuriti nishchitya nischalaha dhairyamaalambya yatnena swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Acharya says the first charana is very important. We should always remember, and then contemplate. We have to, in other words, we have to always remember, recapitulate. ಮುಂದಿನ ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಚರಣ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು. ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದಷ್ಟು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮೆಲುಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದದು? ಮೊದಲನೇ ಚರಣ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧಂ ಪುಷ್ಯತಿ ವಪುಃ ಇತಿ ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ್ಯ ನಿಶ್ಚಲಃ. ಏನ್ ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ? ಹುಟ್ಟಿನಿಂದ ಮರಣ ಬರೋ ತನಕ ಈ ಶರೀರ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಏನು ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಇದು ಏನೇನು ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸುಖ ದುಃಖ ಬಡತನ ಸಿರಿತನ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ಅಂತಸ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನೇನು ಸಿಗಬೇಕು ಈ ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆ, ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮರಣ ಹೊಂದಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಮೊದಲೇ ನಿಶ್ಚಯವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು. ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಜನ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣವಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕೆಲವು ಜನ್ಮಗಳ ಕರ್ಮ ಫಲಗಳನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಕರ್ಮಗಳು ಈ ಜನ್ಮಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ. ಕೆಲವು ಕರ್ಮಗಳ ಫಲ ಅನುಭವಿಸೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಜನ್ಮ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಆ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಫಲಗಳು ಇದೆ, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಫಲಗಳು ಇದೆ. ನಾವು ಹಿಂದೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಏನಿದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಾಗ್ಲಿ ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದಾಗ್ಲಿ ಬಡತನ ಸಿರಿತನ ಏನೇ ಬಂದ್ರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದ ಕರ್ಮಗಳೇ ಕಾರಣ. ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರು ಅಲ್ಲ. ಈ ನಮ್ಮ ಜನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ತಪ್ಪು ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹಾಳಾದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಂದ ಹಾಳಾದೆ ಅಂತ ಬೈಯೋದು, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಕೆಟ್ಟೋದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು, ಅವರು ನನಗೆ ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು, ನನ್ನ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು, ನಾವು ಗೃಹಸ್ಥ ಜೀವನ ಸರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಸರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ, ನನ್ನ ಗಂಡ ಸರಿಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರ ಮೇಲೆ ತಪ್ಪು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಏನು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ, ನನಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ದಿನಗಳು ಏನು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲವೂ ನಾನೇ ಕಾರಣ. ಇದು ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಹೇಳೋದು. ವೇದಾಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧವೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಂದಿನ ಜೀವನದ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಕಾರಣ. ಅದು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ. ಕರ್ಮ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತ ಅಚಲ. ಕರ್ಮ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿದ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಮತ್ತು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಕರ್ಮಗಳ ಫಲವನ್ನ ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನುಭವಿಸಬೇಕು. ಅನುಭವಿಸಿಯೇ ತೀರಬೇಕು. ಅನುಭವಿಸದೆ ಅದು ನಾಶ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಶರೀರಪಾತ ಆಗೋವರೆಗೂ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಈ ವಿಷಯ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ದೇಹದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಶರೀರದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಬಡತನ ಸಿರಿತನದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಣ ಸಂಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಮಹಾತ್ಮರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಭಗವತ್ ಇಚ್ಛೆಯನ್ನು ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ಹಿಂದೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸುಭಾಷಿತ ವೇದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಬಹಳ ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಚರಣ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ತೇನ ವಿನಾ ತೃಣಮಪಿ ನ ಚಲತಿ. ಭಗವಂತನ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಒಂದು ಹುಲ್ಲು ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಅಲ್ಲಾಡಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ? ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧವನ್ನ ನೀವು ಅನುಭವಿಸಲೇಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ತಿಪ್ಪರ್ಲಾಗ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಅದು ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು ಅದು ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರು ಕಾರಣ? ಬೇರೆಯವರಲ್ಲ, ನೀವೇ ಕಾರಣ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವೇ ಕಾರಣ. ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಧರ್ಮಾರ್ಥ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ದುಡ್ಡು 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 ಶೇಖರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರು ತಲೆ ಹೊಡೆದು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಹೊಡೆದು ದುಡ್ಡು ಸಂಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಡಬಾರದ ಕಷ್ಟಗಳನ್ನ ಒಂದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಪಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ. So Acharya is very clear, Vedanta is very clear on prarabdha. What is prarabdha? All that you face in this life, the good things and the bad things, whether you are rich or poor, whether you are weak or strong, whether you have a status or not, whether you become a celebrity or not, whether you become a richest man or a poorest man, or whether you suffer from diseases throughout your life, one after another, or you remain healthy almost till the end of the life. All these things. Above all, what sort of spouse you get? What is the compatibility between husband and wife, between parents and children? Everything is decided by your actions done in the previous births. So, by Runanabandha, you join in a family. You are born in a family to expedite your prarabdha phala in this birth, to face your prarabdha phala in this birth of the previous birth karma action. Without facing that, the prarabdha will not vanish. Karma siddhanta is very clear. You have to face the music, the good or bad rewards you have to experience. That is called prarabdha. No point in blaming somebody that somebody is responsible for my misfortune. No, you are responsible for your misfortune in this birth. Whatever bad things you have done in the previous birth, who knows? Nobody knows. You also don't know. So because of that, you are facing the troubles in this birth. And what all bad things you are doing now or good things you are doing now, that phala, the reward will be there in the next birth. In the next birth. In the next birth. Till you become realized and escape from the cycle of the birth and death. Till you become emancipated, these things will continue. Birth, death, rebirth. It goes on. Law of karma works immutable. Rebirth, law of karma are interconnected directly. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Gahana karmano gatihi Arjuna. He says, Arjuna, Gahana karmano gatihi. The interconnecting web of the karma and the results, nobody will understand. Nobody will understand the karma siddhanta. It is so deep, so divine, so secret, No human being can understand Karma Siddhanta correctly. God says in Bhagavad Gita, Kahana Karmano Gatihi Arjuna. So, Acharya is now talking of that. Prarabdham pushyati vapuh iti nischitya nischalaha. So, once you understand the concept of Prarabdha and Karma Siddhanta, it is not a negative feeling. It is not pessimistic answer. It is not narcissistic answer Acharya is giving here. People always get confused. It is escaping view Acharya says here. No. Bhagavad Pada says very clearly, scientifically, that what is bound to happen in the future, tomorrow, you don't know that. You don't know that. Please follow the argument. What is going to happen tomorrow, we don't know. So we have to strive hard for a betterment of life. Yes, karmas we have to perform. It is not that running away from karma. Diligently we had to perform our karma according to the scriptures and holy books in a dharmic way. Nobody prevents you from not doing any karma at all. Nobody can remain without doing any karma even for a second. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, what Acharya says, since you don't know tomorrow, future, what is stored in you, whether a crisis will come, whether a happy ending will be there, that you don't know. So that will happen because of prarabdha. Because of the previous deeds you have done, you have to face that. But face it. Once you know the law of karma, you will have the strength, mental strength, and by the grace of the Sadguru and God, you will develop that courage to face any problem. That doesn't mean you should not do any karma. Do sincerely, diligently, with all the effort and determination, all your karma, do it. And face the music also in the same sense. Don't feel disheartened when something bad happens. Don't feel elated when something very good happens. Take everything in a balanced way. That's what Acharya hints here. Insight. Prarabdham pushyati vapuhu. Vapu means your sharira. Sharira means your whole life from birth to death. Vapuhu. Prarabdham pushyati vapuhu. The prarabdha will decide about your events in your lifetime. Iti nishchitya nishchalaha. So think correctly, have a correct perception of the law of karma, and be contented, be with a still mind, observe the events happening, unfolding tomorrow, the future events, which you don't know. Accept them as they come. That's the meaning. Accept everything which comes to you. But don't neglect your duties. Do all your karmas sincerely. You want to be a very good businessman? Okay, fine. You want to be a celebrity? Fine. You want to be a very good teacher? Fine. You want to be a very good reader? Fine. Whatever karmas, in a dharmic way, do it with all the efforts, with all your mental abilities. But accept whatever comes tomorrow, good or bad. Don't blame others for your downfall. That is a point here. Prarabdha means don't blame anyone for your misfortune, however much do you think they are responsible. No. You must remember that correctly. I am responsible for my own misfortune. The other person is only a nimitta, is only a reason for my misfortune. Actually, he has not done anything to me. Though somebody did something wrong to me, looks like that. But he has been guided by my prarabdha to deceive me. So that should be the point in the mind. So your mind becomes calm and serene and determined, and face the music. Face the situation with a gusto. Attend to the next situation with a determined effort, with a balanced mind, equanimous mind. I don't know how far I have been have made myself to say anything on this prarabdha. So, prarabdham pushyati vapuh iti nishchitya nishchalah dhairyamalamya yatnena dhairyam alambya yatnena swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Acharya is very, very clear. So have courage. Dhairyam have courage. ಧೈರ್ಯವನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾನಸಿಕ ಸ್ಥೈರ್ಯವನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧವನ್ನ ಎದುರಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನನ್ನ ಕೈಲಾದ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಾಳೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಭವಿಷ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ತೊಂದರೆ ಬಂದ್ರು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಘಟನೆ ನಡೆದ್ರು, ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರತಿಕೂಲ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಎದುರಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಗಟ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ. ಧೈರ್ಯಮಾಲಂಬ್ಯ ಯತ್ನೇನ, ಬೈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ದಿ ಕರೇಜ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೈ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಸ ಅಪನಯಂ ಕುರು, ಗೆಟ್ ರಿಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸೂಪರ್ ಇಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್. ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ says ಸ್ವಾಧ್ಯಾಸ ಅಪನಯಂ ಕುರು. See, the problem is there only because you are thinking you are the body, you are the mind, you are the status, you are so and so. That's why you are feeling good or bad. You are feeling either very happy or very morose. You think that I am sukhi, you think I am dukhi. Somebody is responsible for my dukkha. Because you have identified yourself as a body. So get rid of first basic feeling. You are not the body anymore. You are that Atma Swarup. You are that Chinmatra Swarup. You are that Prajnana Gana. You are that Ananda Swarupa. You are that Chit Swarupa. You are that Sat Swarupa. You are that Sachidananda Prajnana Ghana Swarupa. You are that Parabrahma Vastu. You are that absolute Parabrahma Vastu. You are that absolute Brahman. Any words will fail here. Only Acharya can explain all these. But still, we don't remember these things because our mind is deluded by adhyasa, false identity. Our mind is deluded by adhyasa. I am this body, I am so and so. The moment the lecture is over, I come back to senses. I'll attend to my work as if I am so and so. Correct? Yeah. So, with the God's grace, today the 50th discourse in the new abode called Sadguru Krupa. I call this not our house. I call this the home newly built as Sadguru's abode. Imagine now this adhyasa is there. At the age of 74, Sadguru made me to come and stay in a own house. All these years living in a rented house. And I wonder how the grace of the Guru is working. So I never call this as my home at all. My home is something different. This is Sadguru Krupa, the name of the. So thank you once again. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Hari Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Virajeshwara.
Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om.
Congratulations on the new house, and also may many such discourses and satsangs continue to happen there as an extension of the ashram.
It's all your good wishes and Guru's.
Thank you for engaging us, sir.
Thank you, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
I want to listen this in YouTube as well as.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.